I'm an attorney. I enjoy fishing, running, um, exercising, hiking, and hunting. I mentioned that I like to run, and I noticed that after running 200 to 400 meters, that my calf and my leg would begin to throb. The pain would subside if I rested and walked, but if I ran again, it would return. And I spent months believing that I was just out of shape and that if I continued to run, that the pain would go away. And when it didn't, I decided to see a physician, and that's when I learned about peripheral arterial disease. Well, first they tried to find a pulse in my feet, and then I think they did some kind of scan of my legs, and finally said, "We think you've got some blockage." In fact, they were able to say, "I think you have either 85% blockage or 80% blockage," and it was a surprise to me. I had the option of doing nothing and living with the condition. They mentioned that with medication and exercise that it might get better, but the option that he explained was most likely to achieve the result that I saw was either an angioplasty or the insertion in a stent in the artery to keep it open. And I think the first procedure I had was an angioplasty. And I think the subsequent 4 procedures involved the placement of stents. And I ended up having the procedure on both legs, and repeatedly, in large part because I did not quit smoking. And the smoking brought the reoccurrence on. And now that I've quit smoking, I no longer have the surgeries anymore. My goal was to run without pain, and the surgeries enabled me to do that. And I would be able to do that for years at a time, but it would return. I am now at retirement age, and I want to enjoy a high quality of life. I want to be able to hike, to climb in a boat, to run after my grandchildren, to challenge them, to race me. And those things have kept me motivated. I hope to one day live near an ocean and fish every day. And in order to do that, you've got to be more active than you might think. So those are the things that motivate me. The procedure's fairly simple. They make a small incision in your groin area and then thread the catheter down. In my situation, all my blockages were in my legs, and it involved an overnight hospital stay to make sure that I did not hemorrhage or bleed, and I could return to normal activities, if my memory serves me, roughly 3 to 4 weeks. There was always recognition that I needed to quit smoking, But the physical addiction and the mental addiction was overwhelming. And by the third procedure, I had not yet quit. And at that juncture, the physician said that it didn't do any good to continue to do this procedure over and over again if I would never quit smoking. And he said that if I didn't quit, he would not perform it again. And I thought he was bluffing. But as time went on and I grew older, the overwhelming abundance of evidence of the harm that it was doing to my body became persuasive, and I finally quit. Chantix and a long vacation removed the physical addiction, and then the being at ease on vacation helped me deal with the mental addiction. Just my general energy level is much better. My outlook on life is much better. My self-esteem is much better. The feeling of being less than you should be because you haven't quit smoking is something that you feel good when you get rid of.